staying informed. We gotta do that. There is a line. There is a line for... Axo says, what happened to We're Just Gaming? I wish I could turn my brain off. I wish I could. But there is a line for every person where reading the news does nothing but distress them. And when you are distressed, you are useless. When you are worried, you are useless. Now, that's a little hyperbolic, but I think that anybody who's ever been a functional adult for any amount of time knows that worrying about a situation can never do anything positive to affect that situation. All it does is make you fret instead of engage in action. So, what just happened recently? ICE just shot another United States citizen, and we all had to fucking watch it. I did a video on it because that's what I got to wake up to. Here was my reality. Go to sleep expecting to be frozen in for the next 3 days, getting ready to maybe do some catch-up work, whatever the fuck, and then waking up, picking up my phone, which is my habit, and seeing my newsfeed completely bombarded with information about the killing of Alex Preddy. Now, for me, I'm used to this. I'm angry, I'm livid, but I know what to do with that anger. I know what to do with that fire. I used my creative brain to edit together a video and threw it up. I told K-Fox, hey, I'm going to go ahead and put my own thumbnail on it, my own SEO in it for now. You can fix it when you are up, but I need this out now. What I do when a bad situation like this happens is I lean on my skill set and I create something. But for a lot of people, for many of you, you do not have such a healthy outlet, insofar as my outlet can even be considered healthy. You do not have such a healthy outlet. And if you don't, then looking at the news every day just to be informed can seem like an action unto itself. And let me tell you right now, there is nothing that is more useless than engaging in actions that feel like they change things and do nothing. I remember being a conspiracy theorist and being told effectively by Alex Jones and people around him that simply knowing what the Bilderberg Group was doing, simply having the special knowledge, had some unique power to circumvent tragedy. The reality of the situation is it doesn't. It has no special power. It never has had any special power. So if you are a person for who reading the news just gets you upset, then maybe there is no benefit to doing that for you. Is it your imperative to be informed? Sure. Should you do everything in your power to be informed? Sure. But if your goal is not to look at politics and the happenings around the world as entertainment, but instead to be a useful person, be a person who sees a bad situation and then goes out and tries to do something to correct it, which is a vague explanation of things, I know, because there's nuance to that, because you may be the type of person that thinks going out and correcting this is grabbing a gun and killing a bunch of ICE agents, and that's not going to fucking fix anything. That's just going to hand a narrative to the people who, you know, are going to use that against you. We live in a digital age where you're not going to be seen as a hero. You're going to be seen as a terrorist, and it's going to allow ICE to escalate the violence that it's already doing on United States citizens, not to mention immigrants. But if you are a person who wants to be useful, then right now is the time for you to be focusing on that, not focusing on being informed. Because if you just focus on being informed, you're going to spend 3 to 4 hours a day reading the news and then doing nothing. You won't be making anything to get people more informed about the situation yourself. You will simply be a repository for this information for your friends and family, for which you may be more informed than them on these current events, but you will not be doing anything with that information that changes the situation for better or for worse. You will simply be a databank of info. And a databank of info is only useful if it is being utilized. Either make content about this so that the word goes out more, there are more words that are changing the Overton window, or go and do something about this. Go and get involved in your local DSA. Go and get involved with your local Democrat org if that's what you'd rather do. Go and try to actually affect things positively. Go and have conversations with people at a fucking bar if you want to. But go and do something other than just sitting here and being informed. Local Fun Police says it's not cold in Georgia. Is it? It is. But thankfully I have a space heater that is on right now. So I should be good for the time being. As far as I know. As far as I know, there are ice advisories in Florida. There are ice advisories everywhere right now, and for a variety of reasons. Axel says, I still haven't gotten snow. Yeah, fair. Fair. Said, gratefully, ice hasn't been belligerent in your town as far as you know. That's at least somewhat good. Like, that's information that is useful. And I'm happy that they've not been more belligerent in your town. Jesus. But my biggest concern in all of this is that people will decide arbitrarily that they've done enough, that like learning about the situation, knowing more, like that idea of having the special knowledge will be its own remedy to the situation. But of course, you and I both know it's not. It doesn't fix things just to know about what's going on. That is not a remedy for terror in and of itself. There we go. You said you're the second biggest town that has a lot of corporo insurance money. Well, then I'm happy that you're not having to deal with ice over there. Sorry for getting distracted for a minute there. I needed to make sure Gorlash wasn't going to kill me, because I am not good at hunter kiting, and this is hardcore. If I die, I die. And I don't want my character to die. But I think my largest point in all this is that if you worry yourself to death over current events, you will not engage in action. You have a limited amount of time in the day. You will simply engage in becoming informed and then doing nothing after the fact, and then feeling like you have some sort of superiority because you have been informed. That type of person worries the shit out of me, because that type of person believes they are being supremely useful and instead is just creating the reinforcement of the idea of like the smug leftist or the smug liberal who doesn't actually do anything to fix the situation or help in any way, shape, or form. But they sure are informed, aren't they? Excess throwing money at things doesn't necessarily help either. Sure, you could donate millions, but if there's only 12 people actually doing anything, that's still only 12 people. Exactly. Exactly. We all try to do this thing where we dance around like, how can I help? What can I do? The biggest things you can do right now, more than anything, are being directly politically involved. Don't donate money to a cause and then leave. Go donate your time to an org or to journalism. Donate your time to either activating other people who need to understand what the fuck is going on in the world and will engage in action, or engage in action yourself by getting involved in organizations that are trying to undo this fucking chaos. But don't just sit there and be informed and let that be where your dealings with reality end. That doesn't help anybody. In fact, it may even cause more harm than good, given the circumstances. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagittarius, you know I'm not saying that last part, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.